All right, you guys, really quickly, I wanted to do this video. It came to mind, and I thought this would be a great opportunity for me just to kind of stroll and talk with you guys. You guys, another one of our walk and talks, but I think this is so important, especially if you are a first generation business owner, if you are someone who is just kind of like really stepping into owning a business, being an entrepreneur. There's just, especially if you're a first generation, there is so much that you're basically like the test dummy for, right? For the coming generations, right? You kind of learn as you go. But one of the main things that I've found, that I've learned, has been about mindset, you guys. Has been totally about mindset. I'm not going to make this video about mindset, but you really do have to kind of change the way that you think about money. And I say that in a sense of like, typically, right, okay? And I'm not even saying that this is not the correct way to think about it, but we think about like, oh yeah, money to stack in our bank accounts, right? And I'm saying this, you guys, and I'm so, what do they say? I'm so dead ass. Money that is stacked in your bank account, that is not doing anything. If that money that is in your bank account, if it's not paying a bill, or maybe just on a very short range, maybe possibly, sorry you guys, I had an itch on my arm, only possibly maybe being saved up for something very specific, but money that's just stacked up in your bank account, not doing anything, is not doing anything. It's not making you any money. Money is, and I've heard this before, but I'm really starting to get it. Like, money is a tool. Money is a tool that you should be using to make more money, to get more money. Your money should basically be doing something for you. And I'm not knocking if people have their money in, maybe the stock market, and they have it in a bunch of different, whatever, mutual funds and different, I mean, I'm not even talking about that. But I'm saying, because there's actually some pros and cons to doing it that way as well too. But it's, whatever. But this, I'm saying more like, the visual that I'm getting for this, I'm actually in this, some of my 80s babies will get where I'm coming from with this. But it also kind of reminds me of like the DuckTales, where the rich uncle, he has a huge vault of money that he just swims in, right? That he just stacks his coins, he counts his coins, and that's just it. You don't, and like I say, for some of my, whatever, my aunties and my uncles, out there that are watching, that might resonate with you guys, because you all, know the cartoons from back in the day. But that's the visual that I get with it. But like, if you are not even hoarding, but if you are saving your money and you're just saving it and you're stacking it with no purpose, right? With no purpose, or it's not specifically working for you in a way, then it's not doing anything, basically. It's not doing anything. Money is a tool that you should be using to make more money. Meaning that you're taking it to purchase, to make a purchase and buy something that is going to generate you more income. I once heard, well, actually, a few podcasts that I listened to, I heard a few millionaires talk that way, something about how, millionaires that were business owners, that were saying that when they get money, when they generate a certain amount of revenue, what they prefer to do is it should be going right back out, right? Although we think about cash flow, right? Money comes in, money comes out. They say that money should be going right back out and being reinvested, reused in different ways to whatever, just to kind of grease the wheels, maybe to make operations go smoother, or just to expand, to scale out. And that makes sense. But I even heard recently, I think Ray J, he's actually on Shannon Sharp's show. He was being interviewed, and he was talking about how he has his hands in many different pools, right, for business. And he was basically saying that, like, I think he exaggerated a little bit in the way that things were said, but he was just basically saying like, oh yeah, no, I don't like having money in my bank account. I don't keep money in my bank account. That money, you know, it goes right back out. I like to spend it right away. Goes right back out. It goes into one of my businesses, and I get it. And Shannon Sharpe was like, "What do you mean you don't like having money in your bank account?" I think that Ray J, you know, the way he said it sounded a little bit exaggerated, but I got it 100%. I think he was on point with that, basically by saying that, you know, especially when you're starting and it's not that easy, because it's kind of like that delayed gratification, right? You know that you might have made whatever, maybe you made 10 grand that month, right? But that's not free money just for you to spend. That 10 grand is money that you have to reinvest, right? Maybe you're taking 75% of it, 85% of it, and you're reinvesting it right on back into the business, and the other portion is going into paying other expenses, right? But you're using that money to scale out. So it's like you might be, you know, you may have a business that's generating, but you know, maybe it's not being shown yet, or you're not able to actually indulge yet, right, in the fruits of being a successful business owner. But definitely mindset around money, delayed gratification, you guys, and that is knowing that, especially when your business starts up, money, like I say, is just a tool. Money that is stacked in your bank account, money in your bank account that is stacked does not equal wealth. It does not even equal success, right? Because eventually it has to be spent, and when that money does finally go out of your bank account, if it's not being reinvested into something that's going to bring you back money, then it's just gone. So or unless, like I said, you're saving, maybe you're saving it for a trip, or you're saving it for something very, very specific, but just the fact of knowing that you have X amount of dollars in your account that's not doing anything for you, meaning you're not operating that tool, that is not good, you guys. But I hope you guys found this video useful. I tried to, when I can think of different topics that I think might be helpful to you guys, I always give you guys like a little mix of different things on this channel. But whenever I could think of, you know, different topics that I think are helpful, that are useful to you guys, I usually try to upload it. And I know the title might have like grabbed some of you guys, like, what is she talking about? And I'm not at all knocking that. I mean, obviously you want to have a healthy relationship with money. Healthy relationship with money, meaning that when you have money, sorry you guys, just fixing myself a little bit. But yeah, obviously you do want to have a healthy relationship with money, meaning that when you have money, not that you're just spending, and if you are spending, you should be hopefully you're spending it on something that's going to give you a nice return, that you will, you know, it might be temporarily gone, but you plan to see it come back times whatever that you invested it in. Should be good, right? And I'm not talking about your basics, because obviously you should be with your money being able to whatever, pay your bills, pay your rent, pay different things that you have that you need to pay. But beyond that, it really should not be anything you know, too luxurious that you are spending your money on in the beginning. Okay, but yeah, so I hope you guys found this video helpful, useful. If you enjoyed it, give this video a thumbs up. All right, you guys, so this is kind of like a little part 2 to the previous video that I put out. I'm actually going to put the thumbnail up there. You guys, please do check it out if you guys have not done so already. The previous video was just, you know, like what all business owners know. I think this is a great opportunity for me to elaborate a little bit off of a previous point that had been made in that video. In that particular video, and I explained it a little bit more in depth so you guys understand, but you know, I talked about how success is relative. It's really more so how you as an individual measure success. Success is not necessarily being a business owner, but this video is intended to help you kind of figure out if you are still kind of like in a mode of not really knowing which direction you want to go into, This video is intended to help you kind of decide, maybe, you know, you are meant to be an entrepreneur or boss in that way, or maybe you're intended to be an employee. There's not one that is more better than the other. You know, it's not employees here and boss, you know, and entrepreneurs up there. It's not that. It's just that, you know, sometimes there are different paths that we take. But so these are just a few indications that I have kind of come up with that I think really should probably help you determine whether or not you are someone that's more suited to maybe own your own business, go the path of entrepreneurship, or if it's okay, maybe you should be an employee, maybe you need to change fields into something that you're a little bit more passionate about, or maybe, you know, otherwise. But all right, you guys, so let's get into this video.